In the history of Tiki, there is one glass that I just absolutely revere. It's the 10-pin Pilsner glass. Looks like a bowling pin. But they use these at Trader Vic's. And there's one cocktail in particular that I love in this glass. Welcome to Tiki Cocktails with Spike.
Tiki Cocktails with Spike.
Glad to have you here. Let's make the Tortuga from Trader Vic's. Editor Spike here. And during the filming of this episode, I made a grave mistake during the recipe. So see if you can figure out what the mistake was as we're going along. And at the very end, I will fix the mistake, but man, how embarrassing. So I hope you enjoy the episode. Let's get back to it. Okay, so to make the Tortuga, we are going to do half an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of fresh squeezed orange juice, half an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Trader Vic was famous for his love of citrus. So this is a bit of a citrusy cocktail, but there is a big curveball involved in this drink. So stay tuned for the curveball. And then we're gonna be doing a bunch of dashes. A dash, as per Trader Vic, is 1/8 of a teaspoon. So when we do that, we're gonna pour it over a measuring guy. And we are just going to go, whoop, like that. And the reason why we do it over the measuring guy is so that we don't spill extra grenadine into the cocktail. 2 dashes creme de cacao. So that is one of the curveballs in this cocktail. And if you aren't familiar with creme de cacao, it's kind of like this chocolatey liqueur. It is a chocolatey liqueur. Okay, so 2 dashes would be what, 1/4 of a teaspoon? 1/8 and 1/8? Yeah. Grenadine. Did it get all over my super rare 1950s shirt? Okay.
Where'd you get that shirt?
I don't know. There are certain shirts that I get on eBay that I just pay for. And they're like way more than you'd ever. Yeah. There are other ones that I just find at thrift stores or vintage stores or whatever, but the very special ones I gotta pay for. Okay, so there is 1/4 teaspoon of creme de cacao, but it's like also my work. You know what I mean? Like with the Hula Girls and also with this. So, you know.
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. 2 dashes of orange curacao, and 2 dashes of orange curacao is 1/4 teaspoon. Oh my God, see? It's a good thing I did it over that. Whoop. Another curveball is vermouth. So, it's a weird ingredient, dude. That's I've kind of had this for a while too. Does that mean that it's bad?
I thought liquor always ages nice.
It's kind of like wine, I think.
Oh.
This was in the cabinet. It wasn't refrigerated. Let me grab the refrigerated one. Oh, I guess it did smell like vermouth.
Is it better or worse? Same?
This smells different, dude. Well, if we both get sick, there you go. Okay, 1 ounce of vermouth. And then we are going to be doing 1 ounce of 151 Demerara. It smells so good. And then 1 ounce of Havana Club. Okay, now we're gonna add ice to this drink, and to do it properly, we're gonna use my Cozy ice machine. And I just got a notification on my phone that says the ice has been made. So let's go check that out. Here is the Cozy 481B. And you can see that it has this incredible color display. And if you want ice, all you do is this. And look at the quality of that ice. It's hard and crunchy, but it's perfect for tiki cocktails. One of the great things about getting water in this machine is you can get some ice. That's plenty, thank you. And then you go over here and you go, I don't know, that's like a 12-ounce cup. And it will fill up your 12-ounce cup just like you work at McDonald's or something. Right? Let's see. I always get nervous. That might be you. Okay. You can turn the light on and off to see inside the water level here. See how much water you have. And if you want to turn it on to self-cleaning mode, turn the whole thing off. When you start it up, this little guy pops up and you just hold down the clean button and it goes into self-cleaning mode. Now it's cleaning itself. You can see right here is where all of the ice is stored. And every once in a while, it kind of spins all the ice around to make sure that it doesn't clump. It's a real smart machine. I am super, super happy with this guy. And if you want to fill it up, just move this tray out of the way and then you slide this drawer out right here. I just set it in front and then you can add more water to it just like this. I always like to use filtered water. I just think it makes for better ice. But you can always check the quality of your water by looking at the TDS level on the screen. That's total dissolved solids. That's plenty, and we just put it back up in here, push it forward, replace the tray, and we're back in business. You can see that the quality of my water is 33, water temperature, and even air temperature. Isn't that great? Okay, back to the Breezeway. Of all of the ice makers that I have reviewed, the eCozy 481B I think is my favorite one. I'm not being, well actually I'm being paid to say some of this stuff, but I wasn't ever paid to go, that's my favorite one. That one actually lives in my kitchen now. And I really, really, really like it. The other ones are great too, but that's something that I can use all the time because it dispenses fresh water. The ice is perfect for things like 3 Dots and a Dash, or 151 Swizzles, Cobra's Fangs, Last Rites, Menehune Juice, Suffering Bastards, and even your favorite painkillers. It makes pebble ice on demand via your app on your phone. And also, you can set it so that like, if you're out, say you're out golfing, say you're out, what else will we be doing?
Bicycling?
Say you're bicycling, maybe you're bicycling, and while you're on your bicycling ride, you can hit the button and go, hey dude, robot in my kitchen, it's time for ice because I'm gonna come back and have a delicious cocktail. Now I have to do B-roll of me bicycling and hitting that button. So, if you're interested in the eCozy 481B, by the way, it's not my favorite name for an ice maker. Like they should name it something, like something else, right? What would you name it?
The ultimate ice maker.
The ultimate ice maker. That's not very good. You could do better than that.
Ice maker 5000.
Okay, ice maker 5000.
Ice baby.
Ice baby. That's the name. Okay, eCozy, you got to name the 481B the ice baby. Wait, is that a great idea or is that the dumbest idea ever?
I like it.
Yeah, I know you like it, but it doesn't mean it's a dumb idea.
No, it's definitely a dumb idea.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's pour the Tortuga in on top of the ice. Give it a smack and let's shake. And now into my favorite cocktail glass in the whole world, the 10-pin Pilsner glass. Pour the cocktail. Ooh. Already too much ice, I think. We're gonna gate the rest of it. Look at this professional move I'm doing. Like a real bartender. And then a little more ice to fill. Damn, dude. I can already smell the chocolate notes. I can smell the vermouth. The vermouth note. I can smell the vermouth notes. And the last time I made this cocktail, I was with Tiki luminary, like the godfather of modern Tiki, Sven Kirsten. So if you're interested, at the very end of this episode, I will link, like up in this zone right here, the video of me. It's mostly an interview, but we also make this cocktail. This is Sven Kirsten's favorite cocktail from Trader Vic's, but he is the reason that I'm here, thus the reason why you are watching me. And it's like a big chain of events. If there was no Sven Kirsten, there would be no Breezeway Cocktail Hour. Mind-blowing. Woo, my hat. Now for this cocktail, we are going to do a little bit of mint in the back. Don't skimp the mint, obviously. And we are going to do a beautiful flower. And so from Trader Vic's, this is the Tortuga. So I haven't had this since I had it with Sven. I'm excited to try it again. Immediately you get a whiff of the mint. Ooh, it's cold, refreshing. Ooh, bitter up front. like most any Trader Vic's cocktail, it's really heavy on the citrus, but it's a good drink. I think it's a good drink. But there is but one way for us to find out if it is a good cocktail for the everyday man. No offense.
None taken.
Okay. So I want to bring back on the show editor Jared to see if he ordered this in a bar, would he order it again?
Ba-dum-bum.
Editor Jared's back.
Hello.
Hey, dude.
Thanks for the straw.
Welcome back to the show that you work on.
Yes. So great to be back here again and trying the Tortuga.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like the name of it. I'm
Yep.
a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. You ever see those movies?
Yeah, I saw like the first one.
You know, Captain Jack Sparrow and the island of Tortuga? You know? No? All right. No.
Is that where he's from, or?
He goes to an island and it's called Tortuga.
Mm.
So I just think it's fun to say too. Tortuga. All right, let's try out the Tortuga here for Captain Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
It's not
Do you like it?
what I thought it was gonna be at all.
Did we do this wrong? I feel like this is like, something's funny, dude.
Yeah, it's like if you just had water and you put a bunch of Sour Patch Kids in there and then drank it. That is super sour. Are we missing something? Did you shake this right? I'm not tasting any chocolate.
let me look at the ingredients again. Something seems funny, right? Oh, 2 dashes, it says ½ ounce. ½ ounce of creme de cacao. Let's measure this real quick. Can you give me the little measuring guy?
Boom.
It said 2 dashes, but then next to it, it said ½ ounce. So now I think there's probably not enough. Oh, dude. Okay. Hold your horses, everybody. I didn't see it just said 2 dashes, and then in parentheses, it said ½ ounce. 2 dashes, according to Trader Vic, is not ½ an ounce, but I tend to think that those ingredients, those proportions, are more correct than what we made. Stand by.
This guy.
We can fix it.
Are you gonna
What?
shake it again, or are you just gonna pour it in?
Yeah, we'll do a quick shake.
Okay, let me get all the pageantry out of this thing. for you.
Okay. Look, I am willing to say when I am drastically wrong, and I was drastically wrong. So even when I was tasting it, I was like, I don't feel like it tastes like what I've tasted in the past.
Yeah, me and my good palate.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Your refined palate.
While you're doing this, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of Pirates of the Caribbean,
Okay.
so there's a scene where, in one of the movies, I don't know if it's the first one or what, but he gets like on a deserted island and he's just stuck there with a bunch of rum, you know what I mean? So if you were on a deserted island and you had a bunch of rum, you could have 3 fruits on the island with you to make drinks. Now, coconuts and bananas, that's standard. They're there, okay? You got those.
Okay.
But you get 3 fruits that you can have for all your rum and drinks and like, you know, if someone washes ashore that you can like serve them to.
Wait, do I need these fruits to eat also?
Yeah, this is like, you know, your fruits to eat. For drinks, you get 3.
Okay.
Give it a second.
Okay, so immediately I go grapefruit, I go lime, and I go orange.
Okay.
Because that's like basically Mariano's 3 fruits that he used for all like the Mai Kai recipes.
Okay, gotcha.
But really the only one you can really eat is orange.
Right.
So then you're left with like lime and grapefruit.
Yeah. I definitely think you need like a lime or lemon for scurvy. You don't want to get scurvy.
Okay, so I have adjusted the formula. Damn, dude, that's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed by what I've done.
Do you want to know my 3?
No.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Ooh, let's see what this tastes like. You want to put the things back in there?
Oh, yeah.
I have another glass over here.
Do I have to slap it again?
Yeah, go ahead and slap it. Slap it, spin it, rub it down.
Look at the mint.
Yes.
That's what you say. Look at the mint.
I do?
And then a little flower thing here.
Who are you talking
And
about?
look at that.
What is that?
That's you.
That's me?
Yes.
Weird. Cheers.
Oh, you're just doing the okay.
I just got like a half one.
Straw. All right, here we go.
Okay.
To the Tortuga.
Gentle 10-pin Pilsner.
Sorry.
You know how rare these are?
No, I don't.
Super rare.
I don't want to know.
Okay, let's see what it tastes like. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
What a difference.
Oh, man.
It's a good drink.
Yes, it's a good drink.
Do you get
a
the
lot
notes
better.
of chocolate?
Yeah, I do.
And can you get the grenadine?
In the background there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm on the island of Tortuga with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, if you order that in a bar, would you order it again?
Yeah, totally.
I would too.
Yeah,
It's really good.
for sure.
All right, folks, if you've enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Follow editor Jared on Instagram. He posts fun reels sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I get this guy to do them too.
Sometimes. And if you want to see the episode featuring Sven Kirsten making the Tortuga, click on this link right here. It's also an interview with the guy who basically restarted the Tiki, revolution?
Yeah.
No, revolution.
Yeah, it's a revolution. Tiki revolution. You want to cheers again?
Gently. The Tiki revolution? The Tiki movement?
The Tiki movement, the Tiki craze.
Tiki craze. Daddy-o.
Yeah.
You gonna finish that?
You want more? Go for it.
Okay. I think we're done.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Tortuga. I like saying that word. I'm gonna go watermelon.
Watermelon.
Because then I can use the melon as a bowl or a hat or something, you know, double thing. And I go lime, and then I think I'm gonna go mango. I really like mango.
See, I was thinking in
Mango
terms
juice.
of like
Cocktails.
excellent cocktails. Like
Yeah,
if somebody
right.
landed on my island, they'd
Yeah.
be like, damn, dude, this is just like the Mai Kai. But I wasn't thinking like, oh, I could have watermelon.
Yeah,
and
no.
it's delicious.
Yeah.
Or
You could-
strawberries.
Yeah, see? You could go really nuts. But no, there's a good answer. If you're just having like a party on your island, that's the one to go to for sure. Mine's more just like substantial, like if you want to live longer. But if you're just gonna want to go out
Yeah.
on a bender, this is your island right here.